Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is the CyphaDen chat. I'm your host, Tayamu Denku. That is my homie, Pestilence over there. And tonight, special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only, Keith Coogan in the building. What's going on, man?
Wow. Oh, it's going. It's good. It's going, right? Nothing, man. Thanks for having me on the show. Really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time. Sorry it took so long to schedule and everything like that, but awesome.
It's all good, man. I'm excited about it. Before we even get into anything, really,
Okay.
I just got to say, and people are probably going to say I'm weird. They might think I'm weird for this, but I'm a huge fan of the cult classic Book of Love joint that doesn't stream anywhere at all.
Doesn't.
It doesn't. And
It doesn't. And it's so rarely even played on I think it was on HBO maybe. It's very hard to find. And it's such a gem of a movie.
It is. So I guess I want to know, can you just give me maybe a story or memory from being on set that doesn't include part of the movie, maybe something in the behind the scenes from that particular movie? Because like I said, I'm a big fan of that movie, and I just love it.
Well, where do I start? The director, Bob Shea, head of New Line Cinema. And he started New Line on a copy of what was it called? It was the marijuana film, the black and white, don't smoke drug. What is that called?
Reefer Madness.
Okay, so he found that there was no copyright on Reefer Madness, so he picked it up and he started distributing it to colleges and other movies. And then he was like flying over to Cannes, putting Jackie Chan on his shoulders, and he was like, "I'm bringing him back to the States." He would buy little movies, and then he became a distributor. But New Line Cinema was a distributor, and then they did Nightmare on Elm Street, and so they call New Line Cinema the house that Freddie built. So here's this guy, and he's pretty hip. Drinks tequila and stuff. Maybe a little too hip. There was a moment before Me Too, years before, where they're like, Bob's a little drinks bit, and it's a fun office. Relax, everybody. It's a wonderful guy. He grew up in the 50s, and so did the writer. So they both were like having flashbacks on the set. Um and it was what do you call it? A money loser, definitely. We would have a party every couple of years, and Bob Shea would be like, "Oh, well, we've lost, $1.3 million on it." And so it didn't, they didn't really promote it. I loved it. I did we even have a premiere? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, we went to Detroit. Went to Detroit, where Bob Shea is from. We had the premiere at Detroit, where my girlfriend at the time's purse got stolen out of the limo. That was great. Book of Love was like so. First of all, the cast from Danny Nucci, John Cameron Mitchell. We just had a ball. We had a lot of rehearsals up at Bob Shea's house. There'd be all this Nightmare on Elm Street stuff all around, and just run it over and over and over again, and kind of have fun with it. And I love that there's like effects in it, weird things, because he's so consumed with like comic books and TV and media that, and this is in the 50s, that it kind of breaks into the movie a bit. The mechanic girl and the weightlifter bodybuilder guy and crap like that. I love it. It's a bent little movie, and pretty. I wouldn't say low budget, because it did cost a couple mil to make.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I love that movie. I actually recently just showed that movie to my oldest daughter, actually, who thought it was hilarious.
We were trying to make like a 50s movie that, think Happy Days, but then meets Porky's. So it was raunchy. The original cut of the movie was not rated. It was rated X, NC-17 by the ratings board.
Oh,
There's a copy of that tape running around Hollywood somewhere. Um, and then they cut it back a bit. I heard a rumor they released the unrated version because ratings have changed a bit since then to now, and things are rated differently. So yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time. I haven't watched Book of Love in a long time. Obviously, great music because you just throw all the '50s soundtrack stuff on there. We had to take dance rehearsals for dancing scenes. Um, it was really cool doing a period piece because everything has to be prepared for in front of the lens. Every car on the street has to be, a classic car. And they were smart. They were like, we're not just doing 56 stuff because there's families that don't have the money, so they got late 40s models, beaters. I love that his car is not a fancy car. We pull the damn thing out of a lake,
yeah.
and uh, that was fun. It's a fun car. We blew the hell out of it near a senior center. So they were doing the scene where the engine blows, and Danny Nucci's trying to grab sand, and he's throwing sand on the engine, and one of Gino Cabucci's friends is all this. Oh, who was it? God, I wish I could remember. The names are so great, like standpipe or drain pipe. He's like, it's gonna blow, and I think they got a shot of all of us in it. They had multiple cameras, and they had one where they're like, all right, we want to see these actors in the shot with the explosion, and they say it was just gallon, big old, like 33-gallon drum of naphthalene sitting where the engine used to be. And they lit that thing up, and we'd been shooting all day near like a senior retirement community. When that thing went up, man, car alarms all went off. They all came out. Um, I love the prom, just the dancing alone. It's so great, and it's just a nice little romantic teen comedy, and but happens to be a period picture and a little bent as well.
Yeah, man. Pest, you got something?
Yeah, so obviously you got into the business, at a young age, but what was the spark for you that got you into acting and entertaining in the first place? And like what was that process like where you decided to take it from, something you wanted to do to something that you were going to do for the rest of your life?
It was children's television, Zoom, Sesame Street, Electric Company, that kind of shit. Sorry, can I curse on your show?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, man.
Okay, so we're living on welfare in Sacramento. My mom said the welfare check came quicker. I got Salvation Army toys. We're broke, and my mom is not really in touch with my grandparents, and also our family is famous for not getting their money with the whole Coogan law and all that other stuff. So we're living modestly, to put it bluntly. I'm just watching TV, and my mom's walking by, and she hears me say, "I want to be on TV." She goes, "Well, it's a career because she knows the family's been in it." She goes, "First you start, you got to do commercials and learn the jingles, and then you do guest appearances, and then, movies of the week, and then you do movies and thing." And I'm like, "Oh, that's okay. That's not what I meant. I just wanted to be one of the kids on the TV." So it went from that to and somebody the other day I was doing a interview, and they go, "Oh, so you always wanted to be an actor?" And I said, I never said I wanted to be an actor. I just said I wanted to be on TV. And what was great is my family had the tools. They knew you could go get an agent, and then you start audition for stuff, and then they also taught me how to steal the scene once I got there, and kind of how to turn this want into a career. It helps if you have a family member that has been through it, I guess. So after reconnecting with the grandparents and me putzing around in like commercials and a couple of TV thingies, I just kept doing exactly what they had said the career was. You just stay in it, just keep going up for stuff, do your best work, don't piss anybody off, just keep doing it over and over again, and eventually you build, and your salary goes up a bit, your billing gets a little bit better each picture. You got agents that take care of all that, like not really career stuff, but they, if at the time there was a thing called precedent. Today, only the A-listers, the top actresses get paid the most, and then the top actors, and after that, it drops down to like union minimums. Um, Even on that, it's healthy. money. But you don't work all the time. So that was the thing. It's like I was working a lot as a kid, and it's not going to last forever. I got a job at 18 at a video store, still working, still doing movies, and so I've always done that. I've always done movies, TV, whatever. Whoever has a check for me for acting, and then I also do real world stuff. So I'll sneak up on you in real life. I did. Oh my god, I did so many crappy jobs. Um, I got really good at sales. I'll tell you that, man. I was trained by AT&T, rock and roll. Did long
Ooh,
distance.
nice.
I switched people. I
Yeah.
switched churches long distance and their whole congregation. Let's go. Let's leave Pac Bell. It was great. Um,
Yeah, I worked in cellular before. Cellular sales is a different kind of soul
that
sucking.
is. I knew it too, and I had there was another telemarketer, Bob, Baub, and he was friends with our other friend Mike Tennessee, who wasn't from Tennessee. So we're all sitting around hanging out as telemarketers do between shifts. And he Bob has the latest new cell phone, and he's selling them. This is what's great. And so Mike needs a phone or whatever. I'm watching him, and he goes, "Oh, we got the new phones and everything like that." And he goes, "It does this, it's video and the audio." It was like early on all that stuff. And Mike goes to reach for it, and my friend goes, "Oh, you spend at least $100 a month on your cell phone plan, right? Don't you?" And my buddy goes, "Oh, I don't think I really do." And Bob goes, "Oh, well, I don't." He takes it away. He does the take. He goes, "I don't think it's right for you." And he pockets the phone. And my other friend Mike goes, "Wait, wait, wait. Maybe I could spend that much." He sold him a goddamn phone right in front of me. Salespeople are crazy, man. What was I watching the other day where they're like, the new salesman came in? Was it DeVito? Yeah, DeVito's the new car salesman, and he comes in and they make a bet on how long it takes,
Oh,
how quickly they
deck
can
the
blow up.
halls. Yeah.
Yes, and he goes, the owner of the thing goes, "I think he just sold me my own car."
I paid sticker price.
and I paid sticker. That's right. What was that from?
Deck the halls.
I thought it was from Sell Hard or one of the, used cars, of course, is a
Oh,
genius
yeah,
movie.
I did too because I've seen the clip around, but yeah, I had to look it back up again because it's such
There's
a
also
great example of
Glengarry
what
Glen
sales is like.
Ross.
Yep.
And then within Simpsons, there's the Jack Lemmon-esque character that's a salesman from Glengarry Glen Ross that shows up in the bar scenes every once in a while.
Yeah.
Doing, yeah, yeah. Sales is. I mean, it's funny because you are, if you're doing that, if you're especially for telemarketing. Oh my God, I wound up in fundraising, raising money for like Greenpeace, Save the Planet, all that kind of crap. And then campaigns, I would call up to raise money for political campaigns. That was a hoot.
Yeah, I
and
bet you people love to hear from you when you call them up that way.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. It's a like as you know, it's a numbers game, and it's the same thing as acting. Uh, just because you dial that phone and it rings and someone picks up, you don't got that sale. You got to work for it. You got to work for it every single call, and so every job as an actor you get, every audition you get, you gotta work for it. And if you're not a superstar, then you don't have the resources just sit around all day and focus on getting that big part. You got to work and boom, and then come home, change clothes real quick, and do an audition, and then try to get some sleep. Do you remember sleep? Somewhere in the '90s, I think. It used to be this invention. People slept. No, okay.
I remember. Yeah. Back in the good old days.
It's hard, man. LA is expensive, so it's a big hustle here in LA.
So outside of obviously doing the odd jobs and then acting being a passion for you, what other things are like you passionate about, be it hobbies or just things that you're into?
My wife and we travel. We go to autograph conventions. Uh, I've played a lot of video games since about 1970, whenever Pong came out, man. And my wife, something was wrong with the toilet. She goes, "Oh my God, it's running, whatever." And I go in, "What's wrong with the toilet?" I take off the lid of the tank, and there's a copy of Death Stranding 2 sitting in the toilet tank. So she supports my
Heck yeah.
my PS5 addiction. Death Stranding 2 is a masterpiece, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that's
just
cool, man. I think
yeah.
we're all into video games. I know Denku also does a little video game podcast on the side too.
Yeah, I haven't fired my Black Ops up in a while, but Black Ops 6 is a hoot. And played way too much Cyberpunk, and yeah, fucking great.
Got some good taste.
Well, the thing is, the storytelling has gone from aliens coming down and you've got to save them from a bunker and space invaders to some pretty damn complex, amazing storylines that rival epic
Mhm.
universes of movies. Think Red Dead Redemption 2. Um, and there's something that's above and beyond just movies. Yes, a lot of these video games have cutscenes that are like little mini movies within your video game. But that is somehow working. There's a combination of the cutscenes and then having agency over the hero or the anti-hero or the heroine or the heroine. I love one of the biggest selling games for a while was just drug dealer, and it was just sell drugs out of a trailer.
No, I mean you make a really good point. I remember when I was like maybe 12 years old and I picked up a copy of I think BioShock Infinite, and the story in that game is just incredible. And
Right?
it was just like I remember it just blowing my mind, and just like it felt like I was watching a movie and I got to be a part of it. And it was like that's a really special medium that they when they do it well, it's really really fun.
And it also inspires other things like Lil Nas X and Red Dead Redemption 2 and making music based on the game. Um, There's another example I just thought of. Uh, it it's a common thing too. So more video games make more money than movies did for 2 years now. So I was talking to someone, a friend of a party. I was talking to this girl, and we started talking about Call of Duty and Modern Warfare. And we were talking one specific one. I can't even remember which one it was, but it had a downed jet in the middle of it, like a plane in the middle of it. And we both knew this map. We both spent a lot of time in this map. We started talking about camping spots and like uh about a completely fake place, but that we've both been there. And so there is a shared experience for video game players.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Are you excited for the new Grand Theft Auto 6?
That's going to be ridiculous. And that's when people are going to go, oh, we do live in a simulation because this is very close to it's going to be really close. I was playing just clips of Death Stranding 2 at my work and they look over and they go, "Oh, we thought that was film. We thought that was real, like that was video." And I go,
Right.
"No, it's all motion capture, and that's Elle Fanning, and there's who's the guy? Norman
Uh
Reedus.
yeah,
The
Norman
motion
Yeah.
Reedus.
capture is fantastic, and it's some of the best in Death Stranding 2. It's also a really bizarre game, but love it.
Yeah, I like that.
Is
I
that
like
something you've ever gotten to cross over the two? Have you ever gotten to do any like kind of video game voice acting or take any parts into that kind of stuff?
Audition for them, and it's rough because of the exponential nature of different pathing in role playing games. That you have many different versions of an interaction. In Cyberpunk, they did every single bit of dialogue twice, depending on if the player picked a female or a male avatar.
Oh
And
wow.
every line is redone depending on which of the two you choose at the beginning. And that's pretty significant. That and also there's more text in Cyberpunk than there is in the entire works of Shakespeare. So like I said,
Oh
the
my
rich
God.
storytelling. So the dialogue comes in. Just a 2-page scene is going to have 16 different ways that it ends up, and you have to record hello, hey, hello. You have to record the happy version, the one where
mm,
they didn't do the mission well, and the one where they did great. And it is a lot. It's just a lot of dialogue. They spend a long time, a lot longer doing that than they do animation. I only had one animated voice, the young fox from Fox and the Hound. Had to throw that out there. Swap. But audition for at one point, and you'd build a little sound studio in your closet. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was late. I was doing audition for a video game and something about space orcs invading, and I was in the middle of my closet surrounded by clothes, and I realized. So I stopped auditioning for the video games. There are people that do that. Philip Tanzini, I'm looking at you. Metal Gear Solid, Grand Theft Auto, Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton. He's, they always call him up for video game voices.
Are you familiar with I know we're getting on video game topics right now, but are you familiar with the game Quarry? Have you
I've
played that?
heard of Quarry. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Like it's so um you can tell who all the actors are in that game. Like it's damn near like a full movie. And I
Yeah.
was just thinking you would have been great even though he did good. I mean, like David Arquette's part is dope. But
Oh,
you
yes.
but you would have I think you would have killed that part, man.
Oh,
In
I
that
would
in
love
that
to do
game.
because the technology is a little more freeing. It's not as like locked in a box to do your motion capture. Now they kind of put you in a room and film you, and there's a bunch of different references for capturing the performances, and it still has one of those snorkel cams on you. I would love to do that. I've done commercials and TV and theater and movies, and shorts and web series. I love it. In the 2000s, it was humiliating to say you were work. What are you doing lately? Oh, I'm working on a web series. Oh, really? To now, everything's streaming, everything's online now. It's so funny how things morph. Oh, I did build Counter-Strike maps when Counter-Strike was all the rage with
Oh,
the Anvil tool from Forge, and that was not exactly video game programming, but neat to. It was a single player map, so there was a bit of not really programming in there because it's so easy to do in the tool for building the games. But fun, hard. I appreciate it when I play a good game. Appreciate everything that went into it.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it does give you a lot of like yeah, it gives you like a when you're using even just the rudimentary tools they give you to create your own levels and how difficult and complex that can be, and then you take into account that they not only did that but also built the tools for you to do that is really incredible.
Excite Bike, NES Excite Bike would let you build your own tracks. And once my parents were cheap, so I didn't have the extra memory. Whatever it is, you couldn't save it. I think, as long as you kept your game on, it would save these tracks. It was pretty cool. And a lot of people said there's Mario Maker,
Yep, Super Mario Maker is incredible.
and
A
that
lot
I've
of
heard a
depth to
lot of
that.
people do crazy stuff in that. I love it
Yeah.
when the audience gets the tools to kind of help build, because even Counter Strike itself was someone who left um, the Half Life company or whatever and formed their own company basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm Doom was first, it was Castle Wolfenstein, because I don't know, I'm 55, so I saw it go from Pac-Man and Centipede to Grand Theft Auto 6. Jeez. And I imagine that as a kid. I go, God, what if you had a game where you're in a car, but you could look over and like see everything and like shoot people. I'm a psycho kid. So, and then of course that was Grand Theft Auto. My God.
Yeah.
But the other inspiring song, Outer Worlds, for there's a group that does, what are they called? Harmonica? They do a song for the Outer Worlds. It became a meme. It's about work. uh, and they're like an internet band, not major record label release. They make their own videos and stuff like that. But look up Outer Worlds song or Outer Worlds work song, and you'll be like, oh my God, that was inspired from, another piece of art inspired from a game, they are art. I think video games are absolutely art at this point. They have huge,
Oh, I mean, the a
teams
big
of
game
artists. Yeah.
A big game I was into for a long time is called Hunt Showdown, and they did a crossover with Post Malone where they implemented him into the game. They have their own studio band that like because it's set in like the 1800s, so they record music like that sounds like it would be the bands that were playing in the saloons then, and that band releases live performance tracks of the music, and it's really incredible how in depth some of those studios go with like building the world around just the game that you can play. It's so much deeper now than like Pong, where it's like, here's the game you can play. Now there's an entire world around it. There's people that make a living not even playing the game, just discussing the lore behind the game and all the stories and the world and all the what ifs of the universe, and it's incredible. The boundless creativity.
And now I'm thinking of cabinet art on arcade machines. That was what our out of game universe artwork that helped you inspire and build a larger story. That side panel and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
arcade cabinets. They always, they were quite a what do they call that? A tickler. Come on,
yeah.
come on, come on over to me. Play Tron. You want to? I'm like, Tron. It's damn expensive. Come on, you want to play Tron? I can't figure out a single thing in Tron. I hated Tron. It's too complex. Too complex.
No, but it looked cool. It looked so cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the game, and that's a my wife even went to arcades back when at the age that we were at arcades. She went there to pick up boys, but yeah. Good thing I wasn't looking for girls that were at arcades too. Hey, they'll
Yeah.
understand. Oh God.
You had mentioned, well, I had already known, but the Fox and the Hound, and then you were also in another Disney movie,
The
Cheetah.
cheetah. Yes.
So, what was it like working for Disney specifically? Do they do
Ooh.
different things like?
They're the greatest brand in the world. Every 5 years, a new generation of Disney fans are born, and those kids are going to go start at Snow White and then to Pinocchio and work their way up all the way through everything. Now they got Disney Plus, so that's a no-brainer for a parent. What? How much a month for every Disney movie ever made? Okay, boom, buy. So that's in there, and I cannot tell you how amazing it is to work for Disney. That's my family said. I don't care what you do, just don't ever get caught. You want to keep your nose clean so you can work for Disney for the rest of your life. Think Kurt Russell.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did the first thing I ever did that was theatrical. I was supposed to be in the background on a skateboard in The Cat from Outer Space, but the whole scene got cut. So I thought I was going to be in Cat from Outer Space. Then, thanks Disney. Then came the Fox and the Hound. I did a series for them. It was the Apple Dumpling Gang series called Gun Shy, and there were interesting things that went down with that. I did the pilot, and then they let me go and they cast Adam Rich from Eight Is Enough. They recast the whole series. I was like, oh, okay. They did 2 episodes. They fired him and they called me back to do 4 more episodes. Some of the pilot and also the last four. But then they flipped the airings. So they aired my episodes first, then his. Love you, Disney. So after that, then we get to Adventures of Babysitting. And then Cheetah. And then In the Army Now, which is Hollywood Pictures, which is their R-rated version of Disney has different brands
mm.
from, Buena Vista or Disney to Touchstone Pictures to Hollywood Pictures. And so six projects. Spooner, a Disney Sunday movie with Robert Urich. So I have six credits from Disney that stack on residuals. When you get residuals, if it's from the same company, and The Rookie on ABC, seven projects for Disney. They all come on one statement, and so Disney, love it. Hey guys, if you need any parts for the Keith Coogan type roles, right here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Pets, you got something?
Yeah, so like I mean obviously performance art and that stuff that's been around since man was intelligent, but I think that you've been part of like maybe the most rapidly accelerating not only growth but also like in technology and capabilities in just society in general. You were part of you were part of all of that as it grew. How did it how did those things change? Is there an era that was like your favorite time to work?
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Oh my God. This is my whole thesis statement, which haven't finished my thesis. My whole thesis is that economics drives movie production. So what happens outside of Hollywood affects Hollywood. Um, in the 60s, we had grand, huge, lavish productions. Meet me in St. Louis. And they drove the studios bankrupt. The economy crashed in the 70s. Cleopatra was a huge flop. In the 70s, the economy tanked. People couldn't afford gas, let alone movie tickets. And so they had to cut budgets from 40 million to 2 million. But at that time, Kodak and Panavision had two inventions. Kodak invented fast film, which allowed you to shoot with less lights. Think The Godfather, shot with little light bulbs. And Panavision invented the Panaflex, which is a handheld camera that is blimped and it doesn't make a lot of sound. Prior to that, there was a reflex camera that was like, and you couldn't really shoot close-ups with it. So then all of a sudden, we got studios giving young directors $2 million, ignoring them because that's not even a lot of money for them, and turn around and winning Oscars and making movies like Dog Day Afternoon and Bullet and Godfather and French Connection. So I was raised on like The Stuntman and Hooper. It was hard, it was gritty, it was real. There's no big studio. The scope came in the car crashes, stuff like Fall Guy and Chips, which I get to do a bunch of episodes of Chips. So there was an economic depression in the 70s, which created an art. It was an artist's time. It was a director's medium. The 80s, we had Reaganomics, and we had two parents working in the household. We had to raise a series of latchkey children. There's money, though. And the budgets, because of Jaws, we love you, Spielberg, but Jaws let the studios know that blockbusters could exist again. The last blockbuster before Jaws was Cleopatra. It made money, but it was also cost $300 million in adjusted dollars. So after Jaws, the studios wanted big. They wanted it like Spielberg. They wanted Goonies and Close Encounters, and um, because of that, there was an aesthetic. I call it the Simpson Bruckheimer aesthetic. Night, wet down, backlight. Think Basic Instinct or Lethal Weapon. There's a look to that 80s film, 35 millimeter Panavision, Kodak film. And that's what digital today and streaming, and that's all they're trying to mimic. They're just trying to get their digital cameras to look like they did in 1988. So I got to work in an era that also, not only did it have a strong theatrical, everyone went to the movies. There was 3 movies out every weekend. Everyone, I saw double features in the 80s. Loved it. Loved going to the movie theaters. And then, but in home video. Oh my God. VHS, the first widely released VHS was Alien in 1979. And the last studio supported VHS release was A History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen. Um,
oh, great movie.
Yeah, but that's also a long time for one format of people that had to get their hands on it. Can't just download it. Can't just
Yeah.
license it. Oh, I'll stream it for a second. No, you've got to leave your house, go to Blockbuster, wait in line, find a copy, rewind it, and play it. And you know what I mean? And it was expensive to own. It was $89, $89.95 to buy a VHS of a movie under that Blockbuster time. It was ET that did a first home price through of $30. You could own it. And families were like, ah, they went nuts and started buying it. Disney got smart and they go, we're gonna crack the vault. Every film gets a 7-year window. So we'll put it on shelves in the supermarket. Hey, look, Bambi's out. You can get it in the puffy clamshell. Hey, it's for your family. And then 3 months later, they release 101 Dalmatians. So they rotate all their Disney movies and just re-release them every 7 years. Even Fox and the Hound got a theatrical re-release. So now with streaming, they're always available all the time, all the time, all the time. And what a great opportunity to re-up the intellectual property by making live action versions of Dalmatians or Freaky Friday or whatever. I know Freaky Friday is always live action. So
Or
what you see on screen has a lot to do with economics. The unbelievable amount of content that was needed during pandemic when everyone was stuck at home and they all signed up for the streaming services, huddled in their little boxes from the dangers of the world, and they streamed. They said that the most things streamed during the pandemic were reruns of 90s TV shows, Friends, basically. People wanted comfort food. They did not want to live right now. They wanted to crawl back at a time that was simpler, maybe had a little much too much PC. Um, and so there, it's always changing. One of the biggest changes is because of streaming, because of all these different sources that you can get your entertainment from. We're no longer broadcasting. We no longer take one piece of content like Ghostbusters, like Top Gun, and just give it to everybody, and everybody can. There's something in it for everybody to enjoy. Now we find out what you like. We find out what my wife likes. They find out what kind of shows I like to stream, and they do narrow casting. They just make it for you and you and you and you. And so there's nothing that everybody can kind of jump on board of anymore. They fractured us as a movie going audience. And I love what you said about storytellers being part of society for decades. As a matter of fact, the storytellers were often the teachers. In a village of 100 people, you had the hunters and the gatherers and the people that made the bread and thatched the roofs. We'll let the old people watch the kids. But you always had one magi, soothsayer, storyteller, um, someone who understood the movements of the planets, of the stars, and when to plant the crops, and what it means to live and die and be a human being, help the moral code. And so that is a true, you can't have 99 storytellers and one hunter. You'll starve to death, right? So that performer, being the entertainer or the teacher, rabbi, roby, which is robe, which is a costume. The first people to stand on a stage under the stars were the priests. And they told stories about the stars. Oh, look, a bull. Oh, look. Anyway, watch the Zeitgeist. The first 20 minutes of the movie Zeitgeist has a whole thing on stars and religion and history and all that stuff. But the storytellers were a part of it because originally it was an oral tradition. They hand down these stories orally. Um, so if it is, you can't have everybody in the society be a storyteller, nothing will get done, then there is a bar to meet to sit in the soothsayer role, the medicine man role. That bar is be honest, tell the truth. Um, if you do that, then you earn your spot. I think once you start bullshitting, then audiences don't find a value in it. I think that's what Jim Carrey's going through internally. But the
Hmm.
problem is Jim Carrey doesn't find the value in his shenanigans, his antics, his the personas he created in the past. He's trying to shed the ego and all this stuff, ego death. Great, Jim. You can't place a value on it, and you can't see the value on it. What he did was a value to so many people. That is what he's meant to do, and he's got to realize that and come on back to the fold. Come on, Jim. Come on, do what you're meant
Yeah.
to do, man, and you know you're meant to do it. You love it too. You just there's so many things that come with it: the money, the stress, the manager, the trainer, the ex, the attorney. Probably half of them the same people. Oh, and the nanny. Throw them in there. It's a lot. The stars don't keep a lot of their money. They get a check, and immediately they're in the 38% tax bracket, 10% to the agent, 20% to the manager, their attorneys, their PR people. Um, it um, So thank you just for even saying that I was like a storyteller kind of a thingy. Um, I felt it. It was a rare platform. They didn't make as many movies a year, and to get produced, it had to be a good script. Good off the page, you saw these characters. Um, and there weren't as many other kids in the business. Your age, your type. Yeah, there's bully types and there's whatever tough guys. But I was always kind of like the sensitive kid, everyday kid. Um, so I was just very lucky to work in that time, which I do consider the height of Hollywood. Everyone loves 80s and 80s movies. It's having a real huge comeback right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a correlation. I mean, we're both hip hop artists, so it's a different medium, it's a different art form, but in kind of a similar way, the culture has evolved in that same way where maybe when you had started, it was like you said, it had to be quality stuff. There had to be a reason for this stuff to happen. It wasn't just accessible for everybody to create. So the people that ended up doing it were the people that had enough passion to really put a lot of work towards it. And nowadays, like in hip hop, there's anybody can go and spend a couple $100 and get the programs they need and the equipment and make music and release it and do whatever. There's a big oversaturation in that regard where there's a lot of people that have a passion for it, which is a cool thing. On the surface, it's awesome. It's cool that a lot of people have value and interest in it, but it leads to too many preachers, not enough hunters. It
Do you
leads
think
to too
that
many
this?
people.
Do you think that the studio bottleneck, the choke point on mainstream media, a platform to be seen, meaning a company with millions of dollars for billboards and posters and radio spots and the internet placement, fly people out to talk shows, print posters for their whatever it is? Um, there's a filtering in there because there's going to be um, some money put in to produce it and promote it. Like you said, yes, the democratization happened. The tools have come down to that anybody can make a movie, anybody can make a record, anybody can make a video game. But do you have the resources to let all 335 million Americans know it's out and it's ready to go?
Right.
And you know, there's also so many legal challenges. How do you know you work 8 years? I built this game, and all of a sudden you stepped all over somebody's trademark, copyright, and you're boned. That's why those studios have a floor of attorneys, floor three.
Yeah.
They have. We got to make them walk a little up the stairs. It's important. Not only is it important to be an artist, but it's also important to be able to knock on the doors and be able to have the connections. We've seen plenty of people that don't necessarily have the talent, but they have the drive, the work ethic, and the studio connections.
Right.
Ashley Simpson, I'm looking at you. Ashley, but what's great is Ashley, because of her SNL total bumfuckery, um, that it made them go back to live performers on SNL. And that's what I loved about SNL is live freaking music. And I'll say this
Yeah.
another thing, just how long it took video games to go from Pong to Grand Theft Auto. Well, the first 10 years, it took a while. It was Pong and then, Donkey Kong, and it was still 2D platformers forever. Same thing with hip hop from Rapper's Delight in what 79, 80 to Slick Rick to what happened in the 90s to hip hop.
Yeah.
The explosion. Same thing with video games. It takes a while
Yeah.
for it to kind of find maybe it's audience, it's tribe, it's the people that were really going to enjoy it. I use tribe in a way of you find someone who likes like sick body modification horror movies, you're like, you're my tribe.
Yeah.
Um, and you can have multiple tribes. You can have lots of different tribes, but
Right.
just some place where everybody shares that same love of. My wife calls it fandom, fangirling, or fanboying over something, and I'm just like, nah, man, that's my jam.
Well, it is, and it is funny that you mentioned like the everybody's trying to re-emulate the 80s with the digital cameras and stuff. The same thing's happening in hip hop music. People are trying to emulate that quality record sound and that, direct onto recording stuff. People are trying to add those effects digitally to mimic that same kind of flavor, that same kind of vibe, that same
Yeah.
kind of everything that
I even
exists
see
with it.
glitch video filters for
Yep.
Instagram and stuff like that. And one that I love is the line. There'll be a line like a burnt line of pixels, but it's really it mimics like the fold in a foldable phone, like the
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And it might be a bit of skeuomorphism where you borrow something from older technology, like the college rule on the Notepad app. Originally, it had that. We say things like dial a phone. They put wood paneling on the sides of cars, carriages. Like it's not a thing we need in the new thing, but it makes the user feel more comfortable using the new technology. Look it up. It's called skeuomorphism. Um, and that comfort that you feel from 808, that comfort you feel from a Roland 220, the uh, uh, there's certain one that instantly brings a nostalgia, a
Yeah.
connotation. It brings with it the remembrance of everything. Every time I hear the what's the breakbeat? Um, oh God, I can't even remember the name of it. Uh, there's certain things you hear. You think of certain albums that other artists have used or sampled it. I love. There's a meme right now with the Anxiety song, someone that I used to know, and then there was an original song that someone that I used to know sampled from. Nothing's new under the sun. Nothing's new under the sun. Now, remember, Nirvana came out because of a need for authentic, and they were sick of the glam and the hair and the makeup and the overproduction on the like '80s hair band, rock band stuff. Poison, even Guns N' Roses had become, and so they felt that there was something authentic about a guitar, a bass, and a set of drums. Period. That's it.
Make it simple,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and so Kevin Smith is at Con talked about Dogma 25. And Dogma came around in the 90s. It was a film conceit that you don't use music, hair, makeup, locations, or sets. So a hotel's a hotel, a house is a house, a school is a school. You don't, music can only be in someone playing guitar or playing piano. I guess you could have them turn a radio on and a song comes on. It has to be in it. You can't use stabilizers, dollies. You can't use artificial lighting. Wow. And it created some really good films. The anniversary birthday party. Um, the where and low budgets, really low budget because you have really small crews. He re-upped it and he goes, "Here's the rules: no crews under 15 people." You think about it: camera, grip, electric, continuity. You're like, how many more people do we sound? Fuck sound. How many more people do you need on a set to just get that camera and a microphone with your performers? He said no. Same rules as before. No film techniques really. It's just got to be pretty straightforward. And he also said no internet to make it. That's where people broke out. They, what do you mean you can't use internet? He goes, yeah, you can use email to have a meeting, but I don't want people in different cities looking at dailies. You have to be in the room together and go there, that one, take two. Look at their eyes. Film is a collaborative thing. And I know we have people sending stems. I love Superorganism. They're built from a bunch of people in a collective that, kept adding to the tracks and stuff like that and came up with some great music. My nephew, he collabs with a lot of people, and I've heard a lot of the tracks and I'm absolutely blown away. But there's something about being in the room together. Whether you're making music or you're making movies, you can't rehearse a play separately and then come on opening night. You have to work together. You have to get to know these people. Um, as I hate during pandemic, they went to video casting. You don't go in the room. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Oh, traffic's a bitch. A chance to have direction in the room. Oh, try it this way. That okay? Yeah, I'll do it right now. Now you tape something here against this damn backdrop here, and you send it in. You either get it or you don't. There's no direction. There's no second take. You're cast off of your tape, and they're also expecting a finished thing. Same with albums. You send in a demo. They're like, well, the production. Well, it's not. We don't have $200,000 for a studio or a $3,800 Sennheiser microphone. We don't have that. We can't afford an Eve 88R as our mixing console. Um. So, Billie Eilish's album was made on a copy of Pro Tools on their laptop. She sang the vocals sitting cross-legged on her bed in her bedroom, and her brother did all the production. That's the example I think of showing that creation can be so. Look at Tangerine and Honora, Sean Baker making movies with iPhones. The last 28 years later was shot on iPhones. So they're both coming together. Productions are going to come down and lower costs. I go, we don't need all this union bloat. We just need like three idiots with a camera and no film permits. Let's go. Let's shoot it. And then uh, also in the '80s, the script had to be good because my God, we're putting 10 million to make this thing, and it's got to make its money back. We're borrowing the money. Today, they just go, is it typed well? Great. Oh, and they ask them to write the whole 10 episodes before they even greenlight their show. So that's holding up a lot of stuff too. In the past, they would show the pilot and they'd hear audiences' notes and they go, all right, and they take them and then they'd make about 2-3 episodes, start airing them and start listening to the audience. Oh, they like their coupling. Oh, they want to ship them. Oh, they don't like that character. Oh, and they start rewriting the show as they go. Back in old television production days, it was um now it's oh, I like South Park how they do it because they do theirs in like 5 days and they do
Yeah.
it right up to the day of production, so they can have stuff that went down that week in their episode in an animated show. That's mind blowing.
Yeah, it is, and it is incredible. But it does show the level of like dedication and people that there's levels to it. You could see a guy on the
It
street
also
with
shows that it also shows that for artists, the first draft is good, and we just
yeah,
place too much judgment on it. And so what they're doing with South Park, sorry I cut you off, I'm ADD.
you're good.
Um,
No, you're good, man.
that they put themselves under the pressure to deliver a quick first draft, and that's
Yeah.
it, flying on their balls and instincts. And music should be like that too. Yeah, something didn't work out, do another take. Great, we got it on my take 3. Moving on. I have some friends with a
Well,
studio, and it's crazy. It is crazy how much you can get a studio sound on a laptop these days. Film and
Yeah.
TV's no different, man. I see internet sketches, people shooting
yeah.
music videos and mock videos or satirizing movies and TV. When they're dude, everyone's nailing it from everywhere around the country, every income level. People are nailing it. Samsung and iPhone alike.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
like an incredible. I mean, he does it. He does the and that's kind of the thing though when you say like doing it live though is an added benefit and it is a shame that there it is kind of a lost art form in hip hop, but freestyling is a huge part of his show when he does performances. And it's also the thing that I've noticed. It doesn't matter who the people are because he's creating it on the fly and making people part of it. It connects with everybody in the room, regardless of if they're fans of the craft or not. Because we've played shows in places that are, they're bars, they're places where people are coming in that are not there for the show, but they happen to be there, and they always end up attaching to that element because they feel like they were part of it. They were there when it was being made. They got to see the whole process, and that's a
What
special
was
thing.
the Broadway show? Wayne Brady's in it. Lin Manuel Miranda. It was Freestyle Love Supreme. And at the top of the night, they asked the audience for one word, just one word, and people shout out whatever it is. And then they go, and they have a coat hanger of structure to do an hour and a half Broadway show, but they're freestyling it, and it is phenomenal to see that happen in front of you. And that create improv. I know they always make fun of improv troops. We're the zanies. Or are you wearing all black? Okay, great. Um, Although My Pretty Pony in Los Angeles is fantastic. Go see My Pretty Pony. Uh, they take it to that next level. It's like watching Eminem do 3.5 minutes. They go shoes, and he goes shoes. These the tennis shoes, the shoes, the blues, are the same the blues that I came with. No back, well
Yeah.
back. Then he spits out 1,200 words in 3.5 minutes, and you go, oh my god, that's a unique. Obviously, I've seen Eminem demonstrate. I'm sure there's others. I don't. I'm not versed in the entire hip hop freestyle culture, but my God, is he a monster? Literally, he's Godzilla.
Yeah, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
And he inspires me because there's the sass back. There's the from uh, look who's back.
Yeah.
The original video, and then he redoes it. Abracadabra, but just the lyrics in there, he cuts. It's so great. And unless you're really paying attention, then most people don't know what people are saying. You really got to focus and you got to read the liner notes, look up the lyrics, and you go, "Oh my God." Um, yeah, that is a talent I can't. Oh my God, can't do that. Can't do that at all. But blues, you could do blues. That's a little slower pace. And I have done open mic blues, playing guitar with.
I feel like you have the overall, like maybe it's the ADHD brain, but you know how to fill space. It's the entertainer in you. I think you could, you
It's the
definitely could do
timing.
it.
The
Yeah.
family's like, you deliver your joke. And also, I grew up on Johnny Carson, who was funnier when the joke didn't land.
Yeah.
And
That's
so it's
a
just reading the room. They taught me how to entertain 3 people, 30 people, or 300 people. And there's a lot of same techniques, and there's also different ones depending on the context and the crowd and all that other stuff. Um, there's a movie called Zelig by Woody Allen, and it is about a guy who has a disease. He becomes whoever he's hanging out with. Will grow the beard. He'll skin will change. He's like a chameleon. They call him the chameleon in it. And check that out. But for performers, you have to be. It's very subjective to the audience. You can have an audience of 1,000 people. How do you entertain them all? Just being honest, just being something that everybody goes, I do that. That's human. So you can't be cool. The biggest thing about the biggest stars is they're really good at showing vulnerability. The best action stars and all that stuff, they get hurt, they bleed. I ain't got time to bleed. They show a vulnerability under the toughness, and that's why they're the biggest stars, because that's really relatable. Nobody can relate with a perfect, you know, oh, he's just, he's he conquers everything. He has no flaws. Nobody likes a Mary Sue. Um, so vulnerability is a big deal. And comedy, man, cutting yourself down first. And that was the lesson that Eminem did in 8 Mile. He goes, yeah, I'll give you nothing because I just cut myself down. Now what you got? And so comedians, I think, do that a lot. They always attack first because they're hey, it's victimless crime. But most audiences go, okay, yeah, we all do that.
Is there a is there an audition or a role that you auditioned for that you really wanted that you didn't end up getting?
The Shining, E.T., Goonies, Gremlins, Stand By Me, A Christmas Story, The Toy, Dream a Little Dream. Um, what was the other? I just thought of one the other day. Explorers. God damn it. God, The Bridge. The Ford versus Ferrari. Dude, name it. You go up for a lot. You go up for almost everything. And when certain script back in the old days, you used to get the whole script, unless it was like a Spielberg thing or whatever. But you'd read the whole thing and you go, my God, this is amazing. And you definitely wanted in on everything you could get. But casting back then was done in room, mostly women casting directors because women can read your ass in 2 seconds. And they would cast people that are pretty close in life to the characters, especially for leads, because you don't have to do a lot. I'm more of a character actor, thank God. Can't steal a picture if you're in every scene. Um, so I'm more comfortable in that kind of supporting ensemble comedic role. Um, yeah, I don't know what the question was, but
Well,
damn.
what did you audition for in I mean Dream a Little Dreams, one of my
Yeah,
old
Digger.
school joints.
I was cast as Digger, and then learned at a Youth and Film Award ceremony. Corey's on stage, and he goes, "I want to introduce my co-star," and I start to stand up, and he goes, "Corey Haim." I go, "What? When did he get cast?" I guess I hadn't signed the paperwork yet. Shit. I was already in the production office. We were all doing prank calls on the phone, calling 976 numbers from the production office. Hey, we're not paying for it. And then I'm not in the picture.
Damn.
That was heartbreaking. Yeah, to anything, anything and everything you go up for.
Is there one that you were part of that stands out to
Oh,
you as like most fun you had?
oh, Past you're kind of like, did your earbuds die or something, bro? I could barely hear that. I don't know what happened.
I heard it.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Cousins with Ted Danson Isabella Rossellini, William Peterson, Sean Young, Lloyd Bridges. It was directed by Joel Schumacher. I'm really proud of that. And Don't Tell Mom the Babysitters. It was amazingly fun to do. It was, I like to call it summer camp for adults.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. Uh,
My bad.
oh, it's all good. Um, I think. Well, I definitely got to hit him with the. Pest already knows what question I'm gonna hit him with. So famous, no, favorite food place in LA.
Wow. That is a huge hit. I want to say, oh God. A taco place on Temple. I don't know. Dude, LA has so much great food. Um, you can't. Yeah, there's no single restaurant that barbecue's pretty good here. We got Ribs USA. These are little hole in the wall things. We got some of the best Chinese food. We've got some of the best Mexican food. El Coyote's not my favorite Mexican restaurant, but it's pretty dang good. There's steakhouses like the Smokehouse near Warner Brothers Studios, which is also a movie location. They do really good garlic cheesy bread. See, I'm a little chunky right now. Menopause and just so much good damn food in LA, from In and Out to Tommy Burger to it's Amici's pizza joint that's great. I couldn't Bob's Big Boy. I just had Bob's Big Boy for lunch. Pappy Parker's fried chicken. And yeah, good food.
Well,
I'll go with
despite
Bob's
saying a
Big Boy.
brand, what's
Bob's Big
your
Boy favorite restaurant because of the experience. You can sit in the Beatles booth or the table where they shot Heat with De Niro.
Mm.
Bob's Big Boy is pretty fun. Plus, it's very 50s and cool.
what's your favorite food?
Ah, ribs,
Ribs? That's a good choice.
ribs,
Can't go wrong with a good set of ribs.
ribs. I cook, so we'll do like New Year's, just stay in, dodging the bullet fire, and I'll cook steak and lobster with like asparagus and all that good. It's good stuff. I like comfort food. I like, yeah, spaghetti, freaking ribs. I make good smash burgers too. Yeah. Just cook basic stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey, keep it simple though. That's the best shit. It's the best stuff. Everybody likes it for a reason.
Have you ever have you ever ventured to the Wisconsin area in your acting entertainment?
Yeah, we did. We were in Milwaukee. I don't know where's that area that has the most bars per like 3 blocks. There.
Well, there's actually two. There's Water Street and Brady Street.
That sounds familiar. Um, and oh, it's fantastic. I think we did. Me and Anthony Rapp were on a press tour for Adventures of Babysitting. They flew us to 11 cities in 9 days, and we hit there. But recently, I did to uh, a comedy club that does like a Saturday Night Live sketch show, music and everything, and they have guests come out. Stoll Hansky from Super Troopers has done it. God, I wish I could remember the name of the place. Yeah, man, good times. We travel all over. We'll be in Florida and Jersey and Rhode Island coming up September, October, yeah, November.
That's what's up. Pest, you got a last question for Keith before we let him get on with his
I
evening?
think yeah, I mean I think I know the answer, especially because you said it's not your thing. But my last question has to be the same because we are definitely it's a CyphaDen chat. Would you spit some bars for us? Is that something you do or do some kind of off the cuff
I
anything?
can't I can't spit bars. I'm just a child actor. There's nothing that rhymes with actor, so I'll change the end of the line. Part of reading and learning in Hollywood is knowing who not to piss off, who not to step on, whose ego not to bruise. You play the game right, you're in for a smooth cruise.
Yeah. That's what I'm
I'm more
talking
cat in the
about.
hat than
Yeah,
than
man.
anything.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, man. Um, well, before you get out of here, uh, what would you tell, since you grew up as a child actor, what would you tell someone going into acting at a young age in today's age? Like your advice to them, what kind of direction would you give them as to try to be an actor now?
Do it. Be hungry. Go for everything. Have no line. Don't, oh, that's too good for me. Do industrials. Do print ads. Do well anything you can. Um, Very soon you'll learn if it's something that you like to do or not. It's not for everybody. Now, if it's something you love to do, you just want to do it as much as you want. You want to get as much work as you want. That's the job. The job isn't standing on the mark. The job isn't standing on stage or acting in front of the camera. The job is staying later and handing out cards and going to support other stuff. How do you get 100 people to come to your one man show? You attend 100 other one man shows. So that's the real work. Yes, you can have success and that kind of draws its own thing too, but to make it stick, you have to build relationships within the community. And be patient, be persistent, have perseverance, all the three P's, and listen. You cannot. There's a Martha Graham quote. Ours is not to judge. Ours is not to place a value on as artists. Ours is merely to keep the channel open. When you're freestyling, where does it come from? You know where it comes from.
Yeah.
So
The beyond.
ether, the beyond, the other. Okay, it's come, and when you open yourself to that and trust in that, it flows. Same thing, acting, kind of same thing. So you gotta keep at it. You gotta be able to support yourself. Have something that you can rely on that also you can bail at the last minute to go shoot a pilot for NBC. So it's very hard to find people in your life that'll support an acting lifestyle. So you have to try to be self-sustaining if you can, even if you're not working as an actor, and then jump on every opportunity you can get. My grandfather said, always answer the phone. This is Keith. I'll do it. Say yes to everything. Number one, you can always pull out last minute. Oh, something else came up. That's my favorite. He also said, do it. If it's crap, no one's going to see it. They're just going to see a credit on your thing and go, oh, they released another album. Damn, I'm jealous. Uh, and if it's good, great. If it's bad, at least you're going to learn something. Meet somebody. You never know what connections you meet on something. It's a bad project, but you go, I like that person. So that's it. I mean, all I have, show up on time, show up early. Early is on time is late. Be prepared. Know your stuff. The only time I've ever seen an actor throw a fit on set is because they didn't know their lines. And they're just trying to cause a shitstorm. And just, if you find someone that you're working with that is trouble, work around them. They are a big rock in the middle of your Zen garden. Just rake around them and do your thing. Um, it's a great community. We all, performers instantly understand each other, show folk, carnival folk. We all have got each other's backs. You have to learn to live privately in public. If you're going to seek to be a public performer or not, you could be Buckethead. You could have the mask on. That's a persona itself. Um, and I've decided that I don't care. I'm in a babysitting movie. If someone wants to find me, they would have found me already. I can't hide who I am. Um, and for kids too, not every kid is made for the industry. So I love the story of casting The Exorcist. They're down to the last couple of girls. And they're like, this is really traumatic stuff. Let's have one more interview with each girl just to make sure they're in the right headspace and they're the right pick. They're sitting down talking to each girl, and they get to finally to uh, who booked it? Linda. Wait, what's her name? Exorcist. Linda Blair. They get to Linda Blair,
Yeah.
and they go, so you know what's in the script? Yeah, I know. So you know there's some uncomfortable stuff. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Well, how do you feel about like the scene where like she masturbates with like a crucifix, and she looks at them and she goes, "Well, doesn't everybody do that?" We got the right kid. So there's an adultness to an 8-year-old in the industry that they see what's going on. They also know to be quiet, be the kid, act like a kid, but they're also wise beyond their years. I read a lot. That's another thing is read. It doesn't hurt an actor to have a great education, learn a little bit about everything. So when you walk in the door, you go, yeah, I know about horseback riding. You'll practice enough before they start filming. Just say you can do it. You'll go learn it. And keep your
Yeah.
passport up to date. Um, yeah, keep your passport up to date. Keep clothes in your car, suit, t-shirts, jeans, all that other stuff. Hair, makeup, wardrobe stuff, all that stuff with you, so you can shave, so that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. Stick gel in your hair. Um, yeah, you would live out of your car. You don't have to move to the big cities now. With democratization and people, making stuff everywhere, you can start, but eventually you wind up in New York or LA, or Chicago or Toronto or Atlanta, or they're making movies everywhere now. So there's really no center. Only one out of every 5 TV shows are even shot in LA anymore. So yeah, go for it. And also keep your parents close. They have a right to be within sight and sound of you at all time as a minor performer. My grandfather made the labor laws. They didn't make them, but they made them because of him. You're going to continue to do schooling while you're working. That's fun. And you have to keep above a C average, or you pull your work permit and the whole show gets shut down. That's a lot of pressure too. Take care of yourself and be a kid. Play. Break a bone. Get into a cast. Go swimming where you're not supposed to. No. I did all those things. I got terribly sunburned at camp once, and my mom picked me up from the airport. She goes, "We're going straight to an audition," and I was all scabby and blah, 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 and a wreck. Yeah, I'd always be ready. And once again, if any of these elements, and you're like, "Nah, it's not for me," then it's not for you. You're not going to change 110-year-old industry overnight. The industry rolls with it, whether it's the invention of sound or color or TV or streaming. Um, Hollywood figures out a way to kind of keep reinventing itself, and as you can see, it is opened up to more people now.
Yeah.
Used to be just a white kid club. Yeah, let's be honest about it. How many of those kids in ET were black? Oh, God, did I step on a landmine? No, and we're acknowledging that. Um, and So it's interesting. I did a remake of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and they were originally going to make it for BET Plus. They loved the movie. They wound up going theatrical with it, and it's a black family now. And man, I have had haters of both kinds. Haters are like, we never watch it because we love the original so much, and others are like, oh, never watch it, woke. And I'm like, what do you do with people? God. Um, and the remake of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is dirty as hell. It's got some great hip hop in it, and R&B, and soul, and rock, and the director is a friend of Issa Rae's, comes from Insecure, had directed French Laundry. Um, it is and so the head of we're at the premiere of the new Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and the head of BET goes, it hits differently when you see yourself on screen. That was the best way I've heard representation phrased as a white boy, to go, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Because hey, everybody looked like me growing up. I was the kid on screen, but also I wasn't the most successful. Gary Coleman made more money than me. You know what I mean? But those are outliers. To be the big star at any of it, to be the biggest hip hop star, the biggest actor, or whatever, there's only a few slots. There's only a few chairs. So if you're ready for the whole deal, then yeah, entertainment industry, go for it. Just understand it's going to be um, there's going to be times of struggle, but those make you a richer artist.
Yeah, man. Well, this has been great.
Thank you guys.
Like
Thank
I
you for the
said,
time.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
Thank
to the
you.
fullest, man. This has been CyphaDen Chat, presented by CyphaDen Music, where we inspire even those higher. And remember to never stop chasing your dreams, because you would never know what you are fully capable of. I'm your host, Tayamu Denku. That's my homie, Pestilence. And tonight we had special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Keith Coogan. And we appreciate you to the fullest, sir. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, guys. And there's
Thank
only
you.
one thing left to say. The interview is done, man. Thank you.
Heck yeah,
Peace,
man.
man.
Thank you. Peace.